Thank you. I want to thank Senator Gillibrand for her incredible, tireless leadership on this issue. It's been a real privilege working with her and working with the team you see assembled here. For decades, men and women of the military have been subject to unacceptable levels of sexual assault. For decades, leadership in the military has promised serious action, and commanders have worked in good faith to provide that action. And yet, for decades, the results aren't there. Enough is enough. The time to solve this crisis is now. You know, after the November election, there's been a lot of talk about leaders from both parties coming together and working together to find common ground to solve the great challenges in this country. Well, I'll tell you, you will be hard-pressed to find a bipartisan group more diverse than the senators gathered here today. Across the political spectrum, across the ideological spectrum, we are unified. Number one, in the need to preserve good order and discipline in the military, to make sure that the military can defend our nation. But number two, to stand up and protect our young soldiers and sailors and airmen and Marines. For decades, the promise has been, this will be fixed tomorrow. You know, most of us here are parents. I'm the father of 2 little girls. And I try to think of this issue from the perspective of a dad. When my daughters become adults, if they choose to join the military, what is the legal regime I'd like to see to make sure that while they were serving their nation, while they were volunteering to put themselves in harm's way from hostile forces, that they wouldn't instead be the victim of sexual violence from a fellow soldier. What we're doing now isn't working. The data are compelling that far too many victims of sexual assault are unwilling to come forward and report the crime because they do not believe it will be prosecuted fairly. Our allies, nations like Canada, like the UK, like Israel, have implemented changes like this with no deterioration in good order and discipline. We have an obligation to protect the young men and women who step forward and defend our nation. And I'm proud to stand with the senators here, to stand united, to say enough is enough, and the time is now. Thank you.